Hello and welcome to Nltv News Now. This is Johanna Muri and we'll start with the headlines. Working Committee of Naga National Political Groups challenges Government of India on negotiations and concluded talks of Naga political issue. NNPG Working Committee states that there is no space to either fool or be fooled or in the future between the Working Committee, NNPGs and the Government of India. Nagaland Law Students Federation expresses concern over Centre's decision of making Hindi compulsory in schools up to class 10. Federation highlights Indian Constitution does not give any language status or national language and Hindi remains official but not national language. Nagaland Board of School Education files complaint to Kohima Police crime over Class 11 promotion exams political science question paper leak. Board warns institution responsible for question paper leak to face severe consequences. Naga Students Federation urges Government of Nagaland to maintain status quo with regard to superannuation age of medical doctors in Nagaland until all aspects of existing superannuation policy governing state government employees is finalized. 7 tribal units to refrain from any activities organized by Naga Council till NCD takes up efficient measures in nominating and electing members and executives of Naga Council Dimapur. 7 units in a joint statement alleges present NCD office bearers of functioning without fair and proper election nomination procedure. Now the news in details. The Working Committee NNPG has challenged Government of India on the negotiations and concluded talks of Naga political issue. The Working Committee NNPG in a press release from its media cell on April 11 stated that there is no space to either fool or be fooled now or in the future between the Working Committee NNPGs and Government of India. The Working Committee NNPG has pointed out that the Naga tribe's customary institutions, the Church and the apex civil societies have all prayed for the endorsed and 17th November 2017 agreed position. On the other hand, the committee pointed out that the value of Naga sovereignty, integrity, flag and constitutions were pulled down to the ground, trampled both in speech and action after the August 3, 2015 ceremony between the Government of India and NSC and IM where they signed the framework agreement. Meanwhile, the committee regretted that the Nagas leaders who claim to dearly love the Lord of Jesus Christ outwardly but their sole purpose of existence on this earth appears to condemn the Melgin Dr. S.C. Jamir, Arun Ravi, W.C. Kovener and Kitovi Jumomi and other Naga leaders. The committee therefore urged the people to introspect and pray for God's guidance for the Naga leaders to have a high level of understanding towards a common journey and shared future. The Nagaland Law Students Federation has expressed concern at Home Minister Amit Shah's recent statement that all the 8 states of the Northeast have agreed to make Hindi compulsory in schools up to class 10. The Federation has pointed out that the Indian Constitution has not given the status of national language to any language and therefore Hindi is an official language but not national language. The forum maintained that the imposition of any language over the people will break the unity and diversity and kill the spirit of democracy. The Federation also stated that such a decision must be taken considering the grassroots level of society as it is the students who will bear the burnt of Hindi impositions and not those at the top who decides on such policy. Furthermore, the NLSF clarifies that it is not against any official language of India, however, maintained that it will always stand firm against the imposition of one language over the people. The NLSF further asked the Nagaland government to oppose such impositions and reconsider the decision. The Naga Students Federation has urged the Nagaland government to maintain status quo on doctors' superannuation age. The NSF, during an executive meeting on Monday, also reminded the government to carry a comprehensive review of the existing superannuation policy governing the state government employees. The federation further resolved to pressure the state government of Nagaland for creating of more posts in the medical department and also requesting the existing vacancies in the department to NPSC for immediate recruitment. Meanwhile, it also expressed dismay at the sluggish progress of the ongoing works at the two upcoming medical colleges in the state and resolved to demand the state government make the two institutions functional at the earliest. The NSF further added that it would ensure effective implementation of the bond agreement signed by students for availing the seat under state quota. A private city bus reportedly carrying college students returning from St. Joseph College, Jacama, met with an accident at Pisama in Kohima in afternoon on April 11. Notably, the bus was returning from routine college duty carrying around 25 students on board when it rammed into a wrong side of the drainage. Reportedly, few students sustained minor injuries while one student was undergoing medical examination. Reportedly, the driver and the bus were later taken into police custody. Meanwhile, the Southern Angami Students Union and its concerned units on receipt of report arrived on the spot. While the exact cause of the accident could not be confirmed during the time of filing the report, onlookers and students informed that the bus driver was intoxicated and was overspeeding, causing the vehicle to haul on the other side. SASU President Zuvito Rikha shared concern over the welfare of students and public in general over such untoward incident which can be averted. Nagaland Board of School Education has filed a complaint to the Kohima Police Crime over the recent political science question paper leak of Class 11 promotion exam on Sunday. The board further stated that the institution responsible for the leak will bear the consequences, while further stating that maintain the sanctity of the exam was conducted on Monday and was not postponed, and students were made to appear exams on a different set of question papers. Seven tribal units, namely the Rengma Public Organization Dimapur, Zilingrong Public Organization Dimapur, Western Chakasang Hoho, Pomai Hoho Dimapur, Chakro Angami Guda Union, Mao Hoho Dimapur and Puchuri Hoho Dimapur have declared that the units will refrain from activities organized by Naga Council Dimapur till the NCD takes up efficient measures in nominating and electing members and executives of the Naga Dimapur Council. In a joint statement, the seven units alleged that the President and CD office bearers were functioning without a fair and proper election nomination procedure, which they described as unacceptable and illegal. The units further stated that the reputed Naga organization cannot be allowed to function in this manner. Precautionary dose of COVID-19 vaccine for eligible persons are now available at private hospital COVID vaccination centers. The Nagaland Directorate of Health and Family Welfare, through a notification, informed that eligible citizens will be vaccinated with the same vaccine as the previous two doses. Notably, eligible citizens need to carry the second dose certificate, same ID proof, and mention the registered mobile number used for the second dose while going for vaccination at private CVC to receive precautionary dose. It is also to be mentioned that the citizens can book appointments for precaution dose at PCVS or avail walk-in vaccination. The Indian Meteorological Department on Monday predicted that the northeast of India is expected to witness widespread rainfall with lightning and thunderstorms in the next 5 days. Notably, the strong southwardly winds from the Bay of Bengal of the northeast at lower troposphere levels from April 13 to 15 and a cyclonic circulation with a trough aloft over West Assam and neighboring areas will cause incessant rains in the regions in the next few days. According to IMD, in Assam, Meghalaya, there will be light to moderate rainfall at many places with isolated heavy rainfalls along with thunderstorms, lightning and isolated places with gusty winds. Similarly, there would be light to moderate rainfall in few places along with thunderstorms at isolated places with gusty winds in Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram and Tripura. Scientists in Manipur have found a new species of cherry blossom and named it Prunus Dinabhantu to honor the scientist Dr. Dinabhantu Sahu for his contribution to science. The cherry blossom is the national flower of Japan, and India became the 28th country in the world to be included in the Sakura map. The new species grow up to 25 to 30 meters in dense mixed evergreen forest, and unlike the Japanese cherry blossom, which blooms during March to April, the new species bloom in November. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Joe Biden held a virtual meeting over Ukraine conflict on Monday, describing the situation as Ukraine. PM Modi informed Biden that he spoke to both President of Russia and Ukraine over the phone several times. Modi added that the Russian appeals to Russia President Putin to hold direct talks with Ukraine President and was being made and hopes that peace will be brought through talks, adding that humanitarian aid to Ukraine has been made and condemns the killing in Bucha town in the meeting. US President Biden said in the meeting that US shares a strong and growing major defense partnership and welcomes India's humanitarian support to Ukraine. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and his US counterpart Lloyd Austin held a meeting on Monday and reviewed entire Gamut bilateral defence cooperation and regional security situation, including Indo-Pacific and border Indian Ocean region. The two defence ministers reviewed the entire Gamut and bilateral defence cooperation and the regional security situation, acknowledging the salience of Indo-US defence partnership for peace, stability and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific and border Indian Ocean region, discussing on deepening major defense partnership and advancing quality and scope in bilateral defense cooperation was made. External Affairs Minister J. Shankar on Monday held the fourth India-US 2+2 ministerial dialogue discussion with the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken on several issues, including the ongoing war in Ukraine, situation in Afghanistan, challenges pertaining to Indo-Pacific region, and a range of key bilateral issues. Blinken urged countries to avoid major new transitions for Russian weapons systems and said that the US is willing to make weapons system affordable to India. India uses several Russian-made weapons, including tanks and missile systems, and has signed deals including purchase of Russia's S-400 air defense system. The Aam Aadmi Party on Monday dissolved its Himachal Pradesh unit. Notably, the party's election in charge for the state, Satyinder Jain, made the announcement and said that a new state working committee will be reinforced soon. It may be mentioned that the move comes 3 days after the state's unit president, Anup Kesari, Organization General Secretary Satish Thakur, and UNA District Chief Iqbal Singh joined the Bharatiya Janata Party. Meanwhile, Aam Aadmi Party State Women Wing Chief Mamta Thakur and five office bearers also joined the Saffron Party in New Delhi on Monday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be honored the inaugural Lata Dinanat Mangeshkar Award on April 24. The Mangeshkar family informed on Monday. The Prime Minister will receive the award on the 80th death anniversary of Master Dinanat Mangeshkar. The award will be given every year to an individual for his or her path-breaking, spectacular and exemplary contributions to the nation, its people and the society. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday congratulated the new Pakistan Prime Minister H.E. Mian Mahmood Shehbaz Sharif within minutes of him being sworn in. Modi further said that the Indian desired peace and stability in a region free of terrorism. Notably, Pakistan Parliament on Monday elected unopposed Shehbaz Sharif as the 23rd Prime Minister of the country. According to the formal result announced by Speaker Ayaz Sadiq Sharif, secured 174 votes and have been declared as the Prime Minister of Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways Sarbanda Sonowal had one-on-one dialogue with Bhutan Economic Affairs Minister Leonpo Loknath Sharma and his team on Monday. The meeting was held on the sidelines of Waterways Conclave in Dibrugarh. During the meeting, the two sides discussed on ways of harness the potential of waterways for the process of Bhutan and India, especially Northeast. Notably, the Union Minister said that NW2 Brahmaputra River connectivity can be leveraged by both countries for improved economic ties, while highlighting the traditional bonds of friendship between India and Bhutan. Sarbanda Sonowal said that PM Narendra Modi's Visionary Act East policy had added new momentum to trade and social culture movement between the two nations. Amid criticism from different organizations, the students of Nagaland has given mixed reaction on the Union Home Minister Amit Shah's April 7 Hindi rule. The Union Home Minister Amit Shah's statement that all 8 states of the Northeast have agreed to make Hindi compulsory in schools up to class 10 has vexed many people in the 8 northeastern states. It is the students who will bear the brunt of Hindi imposition. Therefore, an Nltv team went around some schools in and around Nagaland and interviewed about students about their opinions regarding the imposition of the subject. Through the interview, it has been noticed that majority of the students were unhappy with the compulsory or rather imposition of Hindi up to class 10. The students cited that altogether Hindi is always welcome. However, it is really difficult for most of the Naga students to learn the language. The students further added that it is very difficult to read and write in Hindi. Therefore, students Hindi should be an optional subject. However, a handful of students were ready to learn the language and said that it will help them to communicate in the future.
Hindi do like mohan nagas na to olop to mohan kanita fase Hindi khando hoy ido Hindi do biya ase gabi no hoy bhal ase bishi holibi mohan naga kani do lop ta fasna ido karni moi do ekdom ase Hindi do olop to duk pawo li paro na ni acha optional thagai ba মানুষ সব আলাদা আছে না কোনবা হিন্দি বি না জানে কোনবা হিন্দি জানে তো এটো কারণে অপশনাল রাখাই ভালো আছে
Hindi should be compulsory in school because Hindi is national language of India. We all should learn Hindi.
Hindi do like Bali is but then like kuma Naga students kan do purely na pare na like na pare na edu karne edu subject to optional koi de bhalo.
Hindi do loa balas na kile kile itu do mala national language base na upor de itu do Hindi do loa moi karne phali ase हिंदी लौदा एक ता किस्म दे बाली जे कि लगा और जा बिस्ते तंगवा बिस्ते अलग अलग कंट्री दे जाते में हिंदी भी कोई इंग्लिश भी कोई इधर आने हिंदी लौ फाले जे
Hindi should not be made compulsory because we are not accustomed to speaking Hindi. I, I can't understand Hindi clearly ना. So
हिंदी लो अलग भाला से बिकॉज मुकान अलग काउंट्री खान ते जाओ ना तो हिंदी को लो ताई खान भी हिंदी बुझियो ना तो हिंदी के ऑप्शनली बनाने लगे
Hindi must be optional because I don't like Hindi and then it's very hard for me to understand.
I prefer that Hindi should be an optional subject because everyone don't know Hindi properly and won't be able to write so.
Hindi should be optional because it's hard and tough to understand.
Hindi should be optional because some of us have plans to go to other countries and study, and we don't know if Hindi will be their native language.
In a tragic incident, at least 5 people were run over by a train in Srikakulam, district of Andhra Pradesh on Monday night. Notably, the passengers who died were from Guwahati-bound Superfast Express and had got down onto the adjoining railway track when the Kornak Express coming from the opposite direction ran over the people. It may be mentioned that the police are yet to establish the identity of the deceased person, while the bodies have been sent for post-mortem. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy expressed anguish over the death of the passengers. Canadian Minister for Foreign Affairs Mylène Joly on Monday announced that Canada is imposing new sanctions on Russian defense sector. According to a new released issue by Foreign Affairs Ministry, the new measures will impose restrictions on 33 entities in the Russian defense sector. The release further mentioned that since February 24, when the Russian-Ukraine conflict began, Canada imposed sanctions on more than 700 individuals and entities from Russia, Ukraine and Belarus. Meanwhile, Canada's latest sanction will impose assets freezes and prohibitions on the listed entities. Gujarat Titans skipper Hardik Pandya became the fastest India to smash 100 sixes in the Indian Premier League. Hardik Pandya achieved this feat on Monday during the clash against Sunrisers Hyderabad at Dr. D.Y. Patel Sports Academy in Navi Mumbai. Notably, Pandya reached the milestone in a total of 1,046 balls. It is worth mentioning that Pandya also became the third fastest player in the world to smash 100 sixes after the West Indies Chris Gayle and Andre Russell. A few weeks ahead of the 2023 Cricket World Cup, 22 teams comprising of street children from 16 countries will gather in India to participate in Street Child Cricket World Cup in September next year. The unique 10-day event sees street-connected children and young people takes part in mixed gender cricket tournament, a festival of arts and a congress to champion the rights of street children worldwide. The event will be organized by Save the Children, India, Bal Raksha Bharat and Street Child United will be the second edition of the tournament. The events will also have teams from Bangladesh, Bolivia, Brazil, Burundi, England, Hungary, Mauritius, Mexico, Nepal, Rwanda, South Africa, Sri Lanka, Tanzania, Uganda and Zimbabwe. Violence broke out in the West Bengal Asnansol, where voting is underway for the by-elections to the Asnansol Lok Sabha seat on Thursday. According to the State Election Commission, the polling began at 7 a.m. Notably, BJP candidate Agimitra Pol, who is contesting the Asnansol Lok Sabha by-poll, alleged that her convoy was attacked by the TMC goons and the police did nothing to stop them. According to reports, the tension broke out between the BJP and Trinamool supporters after the BJP candidate Agimitra Pol reached there to inspect a polling booth. Following the clashes between the supporters of the two parties, the vehicle of Pol was damaged and one of her bodyguard was injured. The CEO's office have sought ATR to rescored as well as, according to the Election Commission of India, the polling percentage for Asnansol Lok Sabha till 9 a.m. was 13% and in the Buligaing Assembly constituency it was 8%. Results for the by-polls will be declared on April 16.
एक बूथ में आए हैं ग्राम इसमें अपिष्टा इसमें तृणमूल के लोग अटैक किया हमारे सिक्योरिटी को मारे हाथ काट के माथा में लगे स्टोन पेल्टिंग करना शुरू कर दिए बांस लेकर मारे गाड़ी को ये कर दिया हाँ गाड़ी काच भेंगे दिए कारण हम जीतছি एक बूथ में आए हैं ग्राम इसमें अपिष्टा इसमें तृणमूल के लोग अटैक किया हमारे सिक्योरिटी को मारे हाथ काट के माथा में लगे स्टोन पेल्टिंग करना शुरू कर दिए बांस लेकर मारे गाड़ी को
That is all for now. Thank you for tuning in. For more updates, keep watching Nagaland TV.
New YY Dynamite Instant Noodles. It's extra spicy. Taste that will blow your mind.
इदु तेंग तो निपको टाच ब्रेन लगा हुआ नहीं गुले आज अपनी लगा हरती एक तभी बचिबो थके नहीं दे ईश्वर के धन्यवाद दीबी इतो निपको